My Hero Academia's Twice. What an amazing character. This video will seek to explain all the possibilities for the story moving forward, given the crazy events of My Hero Academia chapter 266. Needless to say, there will be manga spoilers ahead, so if you haven't read the chapter, I suggest you do so and then return to this video. But first, let me explain why I'm making this Twice discussion video in the first place. Normally I like to keep all theories concerning an event in a recent manga chapter in the chapter review video. Makes sense, checks out. But as some of you watching may know, and depending on how this video does, maybe most of you won't, there was a little problem with my latest video. So as some of you may know, I uploaded my chapter review video and everything was fine. Then I noticed about 30 minutes into the video being live, views started to tank. I mean, really go down. So I was like, what's up? I noticed that the video after that half hour suddenly didn't appear in YouTube search, Google search, suggested and recommended videos, and on the homepage, even in sub boxes. Now, notifications did go out, but after these 30 minutes, the only way to find my video on YouTube was to either open a notification that you didn't open in the first half hour, or go directly to my channel page and click the newest video. As one would imagine, this does wonders for people being able to discover my video and bringing new audience members to the channel. In fact, I'm going to put up a graphic here that shows you just how much of a difference recommended and YouTube search makes on a video's views, even right after it's uploaded. As you can see looking at the graph, the views spike when everyone opens their notification on their phone. Then, from this point on, for the first 30 minutes, views are normally 45 to 60 per minute. And you'll notice they go up a little bit as people are starting to search for terms like My Hero Academia or MHA 266, Boku no Hero Academia chapter review, whatever you have. Then all of a sudden, the views taper off. And if you notice in the bottom right corner, where it says Browse Features, that lines perfectly with this graph, and all of a sudden, in the middle of it, it's just extinct. Now, YouTube did respond on Twitter, and they said to request a review, and they linked me to a video explaining their current situation in the world and how, obviously, they're keeping employees home so that they can't really, unfortunately, review as many videos, and videos are being taken down more often since they're relying on machine learning. For my situation, this doesn't really help because the video is fully monetized, and as far as I know, because of that, it's not violating any YouTube guidelines. It's also not struck or claimed by copyright. So, besides maybe the fact that my last 3 videos have been chapter reviews and have had similar titles, maybe YouTube thinks I'm spamming content, but again, the first part of those titles is different. It's a different topic every time, even though it relates to the same manga, and I can't imagine if I just had a channel devoted to one manga and just reviewing chapters that would be spam. So I'm kind of at a loss here. But what I do know is because of this, I can't reach as many new people with my theories. That's why I'm doing this video, to discuss Twice and hopefully not have it suffer the same fate as my last video. I'm going to pin a comment with an update on how this video is doing once it's uploaded, and I'll update you guys after that 30-minute mark and if anything changes. I'm hoping it will perform normally. I'll also link the previous video, the My Hero Academia chapter 266 review. If you guys could please watch that and share it with a friend, I would really appreciate it because that's the only way people are going to see it. So I do appreciate all my subscribers and your support. A lot of you guys watched 2 videos yesterday, so I'm really thankful to you guys. And from here on out, depending on if this video has the same thing happen, I'll also issue a notice on my community tab, basically telling you guys for the foreseeable future, until this problem or bug is worked out with YouTube, which doesn't seem to be a priority right now, obviously, what content on this channel is going to be like. As you can imagine, it will probably be a lot more freeform. So, without further ado, let's dive into the character of Twice. Twice, Jin Bubaigawara. He may be gone, but I assure you the party is just starting for the villains. This may very well be the catalyst which the League of Villains need to overcome the heroes. just like in the circle of life, death is merely a part of it, and this is only a new beginning. And also, before we really get into this theory and this discussion, can everyone just put an F in the chat to pay respects for Twice? That'd be very appreciated. Rest in peace, Jin. You may be gone, you will be missed, but you will not be forgotten, and you will certainly have a legacy and a huge impact on this story. I think what strikes me the most about Twice's story is that even though he's a minor character, it's such a complete one. I'm not going to say it's a hero's journey because he's a villain, and a dang good one at that, but he does sort of complete one. There were really only two things Twice wanted in this world, and villainy was actually not one of them. I don't even think he was an evil person. Sure, he did things wrong, of course, but he really just desired, one, to know himself and who he truly was, and two, a place to belong. And in the end, he achieved both of these. He overcame his trauma and discovered that he does know himself. He is someone who loves his friends, and ironically, or maybe even better, parallel, his friends is the only place he belongs. He doesn't belong in society where he's unemployed and doesn't really know his identity, but he does belong with the League of Villains. And by the end of this chapter, he did exactly what someone would do for their friends if that's really their purpose and what they want to achieve in life. He sacrificed himself to save them, and he saved Toga as well. Twice also brings up the ethical question of who is really a villain in this story? Twice, a member of the League of Villains, or Hawks, the person that takes him out, the one that betrays his trust? I think you can make the argument that it goes both ways. One thing I will say though is many people don't like Hawks for what he did, and I think that's a bit wrong. I think Hawks is completely justified in playing to Twice's naivety and then betraying him, all to complete this mission for Hero Society. The only question is, what else did Hawks do sort of down the path of villainy? We know he might have done something with Best Jeanist, and I don't think that's excused. I think people can excuse deceiving a villain, deceiving a deceiver. Again, Hawks' methods might not have been very heroic and upfront, but this is the world the heroes live in. They have to take desperate measures to defeat these villains that are very creative. On the flip side, you could easily say that Twice really wasn't a villain himself and shouldn't have been treated as such. Even though he did things that were wrong, he did commit crimes, you kind of feel bad for him that he was just a tragic character and unfortunately a hero with a bit more of a spine than most heroes would be his undoing. Obviously, Twice's demise brings up some feelings for our villains, and I can't imagine that in the next chapter or the next few chapters, Dabi isn't going to completely destroy Hawks. Dabi has always been someone that kind of is rogue, is nonchalant, sort of, I mean, like we saw here, doesn't show up in the nick of time. He's not very heroic. I guess you would say he's not really a good friend. He's not the one to sort of lay down his life for his companions. He doesn't really even trust his companions. He didn't tell Shigaraki his real name. Yes, I know that's for the whole Toyosatomimi reveal, but he got close to Twice, but you could tell that there was still some distance between them, even though Twice wanted to be everyone's friends. Given this, we saw in the last chapter that Dabi is very emotional right now. He's very mad at Hawks. He's very almost cocky in a way. He's saying, oh yeah, you don't make mistakes, hero? That's right. And he also knows Hawks' real name, which, that's crazy. I think this could allude to the fact that Dabi is Endeavor's son, because maybe he had access to Endeavor's computer, or that he hacked the hero agency and just didn't tell the villains about the raid. There's a lot of theories about that, which I did put in my chapter review. But yeah, Dabi is definitely going to take it to Hawks next chapter. Now, I don't have to tell you how beautiful this parallel is with the handkerchief and Twice giving it to Toga as he's saving her is. That much is clear. It completes the cycle. Toga did something nice for her friend, and Twice is repaying her and showing that he's a true friend. And maybe even more. Some part of Twice did like her. But what's even more beautiful about this, and perhaps dangerous, is what it does for Toga's character in regards to Twice's passing. This is by far my best theory from the chapter, and I'll definitely have to do a video on it if YouTube permits, but I think Toga is going to, well, after Dabi destroys Hawks, the villains are going to come together and see Twice laying there. I think Toga's going to gain access to his quirk. She's going to use his blood to take his appearance, and with her awakened quirk, use Twice's quirk to create an army of herself, or of Twice, or perhaps of people that can then touch other people and double them. It's going to be crazy. I mean, it's literally going to be crazy because Toga's crazy. So she's going to have her crazy one-man, one-woman army. I think that's for certain. Now, I don't think she's going to, say, touch Gigantomachia and then he's going to double, because that's too OP. She's also going to do it in a different way. I don't think she's going to make a million Togas, because what's the point of that? Twice could have just made a million Twices. I think she might use deception. She is on that Carmine information group, or Carmine intelligence, so she might touch pro heroes, maybe even Hawks now that he's dead, maybe he's fried chicken by this point, and then she can use that to her advantage and trick the pro heroes. That could turn the tide in this battle. I mean, what do we always know about war? It's not really about your strength, it's about your intel. There's of course the possibility that Shigaraki at some point in this arc wakes up early and he finds the truth out about Twice, and that would just be crazy. He would just go nuts on all these pro heroes, with also having probably 7 new quirks to match Deku. I don't know how the pro heroes would handle that. I don't think Deku could even handle that at this point. I mean, he can't. He doesn't know his quirks, so that's of course another possibility in the background from this whole Twice situation. I think the importance of Twice in My Hero Academia is he's a catalyst. He is that push for the villains to turn around and get some momentum in this battle. I know a lot of you miss him, and you may think that he had more to offer in the story, but I don't see it that way. I think Twice completed his mission, not just in the story, not just as a character, but as a person. If you think about it, he found himself, and he found a place to belong, and it was his job to make sure his friends were all together. If you notice, Horikoshi made Kirishima the glue that holds Class 1A together. Well, Twice is the same thing for the League of Villains. And now seeing that he's passed, everyone knows Twice. Toga knows him, you know, when she gave him the handkerchief. Dabi knows Twice from his annoying antics in the forest. I mean, even Shigaraki has some type of relationship with him. So they're all going to say, what the heck? I mean, we all miss this guy. How could the heroes do this to him? So one, they're going to be very mad at Hawks. But two, I mean, this was necessary for the villains to really turn around and gain some steam in this fight. How awesome is it going to be when you have Toga wearing the bandana or the real handkerchief that she finds near Twice around her head, and then she's standing on a pile of pro heroes? Man, does everyone just want the villains to win at this point? So let me know down below in the comments, what do you think? Well, what did you think of Twice as a character? Too soon. But how do you feel about how his arc and purpose was handled in the story of My Hero Academia? I really want to hear your thoughts on this, because from this point on we won't have him, so all we can hope is that his legacy and purpose does something great for the League of Villains and of course the story. As always, thanks for watching, and again, thanks for being patient and supportive in this weird time on YouTube and around the world. I'll again update you in a pinned comment as to this video's status on this video, and I'll link the chapter review there as well. I'll also, fingers crossed, I hope I don't have to, but if necessary, I'll make a update on the community tab of this channel. But until then, I hope everything will work out. But let me know your thoughts on Twice as a character, and let me know, what do you think Dabi's going to do? What do you think Toga's going to do? What do you think Shigaraki and the rest of the villains are going to do now that Twice is truly gone? Until next time, guys, plus ultra.